Hey guys, this is Odd1 Gaming. This is going to be another King Arthur Legends Rise video. In today's video, I'm going to show you something fun, and that's going to be a team using only 3 people to beat Gorgos 10, but without using Merlin. Okay, so this is going to be a really fun one. Pretty much it's going to be 2 rares and an uncommon that do this. It's a little bit more endgame because it requires certain builds and characters, but it's a really fun team that I've been using for a while, so I wanted to show you that. Also, before we jump into the video, if you're not supporting me yet as a content creator for King Arthur and you want to do so, there's a link in the description and a pinned comment. You can click that, takes you to a page, you click support, costs you nothing, helps me a ton. Also, I can give you at least 2 codes every single month. It's going to give you some stamina, gold, and some other cool stuff. So, appreciate your support. But pretty much the team that I'm going to use, like I mentioned, is going to be 2 rares and an uncommon, and that's going to be this team over here, Anguish, Isolde, and Djerit. Now, I do want to emphasize that the team with Merlin is used as a 3-man team because of the way the Merlin's kit works, okay? So it's not saying that like, oh, this is better or whatever. No, it's just saying that obviously the Merlin version works and it has to be 3-man because of this passive. Let me just show you, actually because of this skill. So in his Frost Relic on the 2nd skill, he lands Frozen Remains, and then he basically says this, grants dot immunity to the attacker for 2 turns, but max number of uses 3, which means if you have 4 people, one's not going to be covered by the dot immunity, and that's going to be a problem. That's why the Merlin team usually is used as a 3-1, right? So just in case you did not know why, this is why. Now, the team that I'm using is, like I mentioned, this one over here. And honestly, you know how this one happened. I was using with Sarah, right? Just extra healing, extra vigor gain and stuff like that. But it just seemed a little bit too slow, right? It was going to like 1.5 minutes for me, and I wasn't really happy with it. So I said, let me just try and remove Sarah and see if this one still works. And lo and behold, it still works. I have run this several times, and it has never failed. Now, you do want to have a little bit of a specific rotation where you have Anguish go first, right, because he's going to be landing a ton of dots, and then you're going to have Sarah go after because she's going to be the one that, if you have a Chivalry 3, which you kind of want for this team, she extends the duration of all those dots, right? So she does that 3rd skill and she extends the duration of the dots, and you saw how many the boss pretty much has, and you take it pretty fast, right? You just take, I think 2 or 3 hits is all that I take, and then after that is pretty much the boss is dead. Obviously, Djerit is still the MVP of this team when it comes to, you know, taking control of the fight. And also, he's the one that helps us with removing the dots, but also he boosts a ton of attack gauge. Just watch this, right? 600 attack gauge for all your team. That's insane, right? That's so good, and it just makes this be so easy. And again, it's pretty fast. But obviously, this one can be even faster if you have another like person like Rosier in Flame Relic, or Lancelot, or anybody else that brings you more dots so you can extend. So pretty much when the boss takes a turn, he dies, right? The other team, I'm going to play around with it to try and get it to work. But once again, I'm going to have the team I'm going to show you. And again, it still pretty much relies on the fact that you want to land as many dots as possible before the boss gets a turn, so that he only gets 1 or 2 turns, and then he's dead. But even like this, look at this. 3 people, 1 minute and 3 seconds. What more do you want? 66% of the damage done by Anguish, 34% by Isolde, and then Djerit nothing because obviously he is not hitting. Now, let me show you the skill rotation that I'm actually using, the skill order that I'm using for this team, and pretty straightforward and pretty simple. It's mostly Anguish. You want to make him prioritize the 3rd skill and then the 1st one, right? You don't care about the 2nd one. There's no buffs to steal. There's nothing important about the 2nd skill. You ignore it. Djerit, just prioritize the 2nd skill. You want him to keep spamming that 2nd skill to cleanse dots, to boost the attack gauge, to give himself the accuracy up. And then honestly, Isolde, I just let her full YOLO, right? I put the 3rd skill, I put the 1st one, but I noticed it easily works just by letting her go full YOLO, and then, you know, you just destroy the boss. It's like this dot extension is just beautiful. Now let me show you the builds. The builds are a little bit, like I said, maybe not endgame, but like, you know, getting close to that because I don't have 6-star gear and stuff like that. But you want to have specific builds so that you land enough dots so that you go fast enough to be able to be faster boss, kill the boss faster. So the builds are as follows. Let's start with the MVP. The first rare that I actually got to Chivalry 10 by using all of my rare memory stones. That's going to be Anguish. Like I said, he's Chivalry 10. Now, one thing that's really important for him, you want to have, or like, you know, you want to try and have at least this passive maxed out, because this one is going to put the dot take an increase, which means Gorgos is going to take even more damage from dots, because that's the thing. For those of you that don't know, you know, what's it called, Plains of Flame or Burning Land, sorry, the Gorgos, he takes more damage from dot, takes less damage from actual raw damage. He has a buff that works like that. So getting this extra increase by Anguish, and that only happens when there's a dot, obviously he lands it, is gonna make it so much faster. The second one can help you as well if you have it skilled up, because it's gonna give you effect accuracy increase, which means you're not gonna need as much effect accuracy to be able to land your dots. Then when we're looking at the equipment, he's kind of like, again, he's the, you know, ideal build, I guess, for something like this, but still not the ideal gear pieces. You still want to be 5-6 star if you can, but you know what, it works with this. So I have one set of elemental, which you can forge by doing the forbidden dungeon. Then I have one set of counterattack that, you know, kind of helps for other areas where if he gets hit, he has an 80% chance to counterattack. He does dots on his first skill, right? And then the last one's the corrosion one, which is the keepsake. This one's really powerful because after you inflict dot, you inflict another random dot for 2 turns. It is only 3 turn cooldown, but again, the more dots you can land, the better. It's the same thing with the elemental, right? When attacking, 35% chance to inflict elemental based dot on a single target. So the more dot you can just pretty much cram into one character, the better, and that's what Anguish is doing. His total stats, as you're gonna see, 183 speed. Then I don't really care about attack. Honestly, I do have some decent attack. You care about him to survive and then have the effect accuracy. Now, you see that my effect accuracy is pretty low. However, like I said, because of the passive that he has that puts effect accuracy increase 2 on himself, you can go with a little bit lower, right? The ideal one for the last stages, as far as I know, is to be around 70% effect accuracy. So he's like 36 plus the other one that he gets, which I'm not mistaken gives another 40. You're pretty much good to go. Then Relic, 6-star, level 60. I do have some skill ups over here. I don't have the last one, which is obviously the ideal one, to give him 75% chance to land it, but he just does, I guess, a little bit more raw damage, which doesn't matter for this fight, right? Doesn't really matter. And then obviously another skill here, again, just a bit more damage doesn't really matter. So that's him. Then the next one that we have in the team is Isolde. Again, one thing that I forgot to mention is really important. You want to use everybody in Frost Relic, right? So they take less damage from Gorgos when he throws the rock, when he does that single target damage. For Isolde, again, level 55, 5-star awaken, only 2-star, 5-star, no, 6-star, sorry, advanced, only 2-star awaken. I still need to boost my awakenings. It's I just hate Tarask, it didn't farm me much. Then when we look at her, she has her passive, this one skilled up and this one skilled up. Honestly, you don't really care about Isolde's passives, right? You have the Djerit in the team that brings you everything that you need when it comes to cleansing the dots. So if you have no skill ups in Isolde, you're just fine. The only thing that you really want for this team is to have this Chivalry 3 on Isolde, because when she uses the skill 3, she has a 100% chance to increase duration of all dot inflicted on enemies by 1 turn. So this is how it allows us to keep that, you know, 3-man team, because everything that Anguish lands and then everything that she lands, she extends by a turn, which means Gorgos is just gonna take a ton more damage. Now the equipment, she is running Vigor plus Life plus Corrosion. Again, it's not the ideal set, right? It's a 4-star effect accuracy, then this one's just 4-star attack speed, and then honestly the banner I think is just flat HP. Don't really care. Nothing over here helps us for this team. I just completed the Corrosion set for the same reason. After she inflicts a dot, she has a chance to inflict another one for 2 turns, which she does. She inflicts dots on her first skill and then on her third skill. At the same time, when she does her first skill, with Chivalry 1, she also heals by 7% of her max HP, so that's really helpful. But then the Vigor, obviously, so she generates more Vigor, and Life set is because I just completed. You see, it's 4-star, 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 so it's not ideal gear. Her total stats, 173, then attack speed, 53% effect accuracy. This one's maybe a little bit on the lower side, but it still works as you noticed. You just want to make sure your attack speed on your Isolde is slower than your Anguish, and if you bring another one, slower than the other one, because you want all the dots to land first and then Isolde to come and extend them, so keep that in mind. And then the last one, which is the Djerit, just Vigor, so he always can do the second skill, and that's about it. You don't really care about anything else. Vigor, make sure, maybe try to give him a bit more attack speed if you want, but he's 133, you saw that this helps, so the only things you care about the Djerit is to have the Vigor set and make him survive, right? That's it. You don't care about any other stat. Just if he has Vigor, if he survives, you're good to go. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. That's pretty much my team of a 3-man Gorgos without using Merlin, and you know, it's pretty free-to-play friendly as long when it comes to the heroes that you need, as long as you kind of like, you know, have the gear required in order to do this, and just makes farming Gorgos a little bit faster. Now, like I mentioned, I'm gonna try and look and test out, maybe see if I bring Lancelot or Rosier to the team to land more dots. I know people are doing that. I want to see how fast can I do it, right? Because at the end of the day, as you progress and you already beat it consistently, what's the next goal? To try and beat it as fast as possible, and that's what I'm going to try and do. But yeah, I guess we're going to leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Fight with honor. Vanquish the wicked. And you may prove worthy of your legacy.